So we're going to get started. My name's Christy Nault. I am the wellness specialist here at the City of Nashua. Been here since just January, so I'm still navigating, but am a resource for all things wellness. Today we have Deanna with us from Anthem. She's the wellness manager that services our account here at the city, and she's going to take us through an Anthem Sydney app demo. So, Deanna.
Thank you, Christy. So I'm Deanna. So I'm our local health and wellness program manager. So as Christy mentioned, we're going to do a walkthrough of the Sydney app today. A lot of folks don't realize that they can self-serve a lot of information from the app. And as I refer to Sydney during the presentation, please just keep in mind that it is interchangeable with Anthem.com. So if you are someone who prefers the browser version, that's perfectly fine. You can do all of these things in both. That said, we do encourage folks to use the Sydney app simply because you have it on the go, right? So if you ever were to need your ID card and you're not expecting that maybe you need to go to the urgent care that day, right? You're able to access all of the same programs, tools, resources, wherever you are, as long as you have your phone on you. So while it looks a little bit different, all of the same features are in the browser version. And your login is also going to be the same between the browser and the Sydney app. Sydney can be downloaded from your Apple App Store, Google Play, or wherever you get your apps from. It is, of course, free. So that's Sydney with an S. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So what I have up on the screen here is once we've logged into our account, this is essentially your home page within the app. So the first thing I'm going to do or point out are just some key areas on the home page. So we can see in the upper right-hand corner, right here, you have an envelope, and in the demo site, there's a little red 3 on it, which is indicating that I have 3 messages unread in my inbox. I can see that I have my ID card here. Action items, which are items which Anthem would like to bring my attention to, right here in the upper center. And then there's going to be more information as I scroll down, which we'll get to. And then from the toolbar, we'll go through these different options at the bottom here as well. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the message center. And this is where you'll find messages for anything that Anthem may want to bring attention to for you, or it could be correspondence related to support. But you can communicate with support through the message center. And again, it could be a reminder for an appointment, but you'll find communications directly from Anthem in your message center. All right. And next, we're going to take a look at the ID cards. This is a very handy feature. And if you have multiple people on your plan, if you have dependents on the plan with you, you can actually toggle between the different ID cards. So maybe if you're with your child for an appointment or something like that, very handy to be able to easily access all of those ID cards right from your phone. You can see towards the bottom that there's this little share icon right here. If I tap that, I have different ways in which I'm able to share the ID card as well. I've actually used this feature. I've actually used it twice. I had my dentist appointment yesterday, and I emailed them my ID card prior. But I've also used it at my annual exam. Very handy, and sometimes honestly even easier than pulling out the physical card. But especially if you maybe don't have your physical card on you for some reason, knowing that it's right there in the app is incredibly helpful. All right. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is take a look at claims. So let's go to the toolbar at the bottom here, and this is definitely, of course, one of the most utilized features within the app. We'll go to the second option from the left for claims. Let's go ahead and select medical at the top here. And then I'll select the claim which I would like to take a look at. So we'll go with this one right here. So here you're able to access all of the details for the claim, the explanation of benefits. So all of the information that you would get at Anthem.com, again, you can access directly within the app. A new feature that Sydney now has is tracking prior authorizations and the status. So let's take a look at how to access that area within the app. And this updates in real time, and it's the same information and the same updates that our claims team has. So from the menu option down at the bottom here, we're going to tap all the way to the right for menu. And then the top option for My Plans, you can see authorizations listed within the description. I'm going to select the drop down for My Plans, and then I'll select authorizations and referrals. Now this page will have all of those prior authorization requests by reference number, and there's also an FAQ section at the bottom for commonly asked questions. So I'll select this request number right here for more details. And as I scroll down, and this again does update in real time once the data source makes the information available. So you'll be able to see as it moves through the process and then ultimately whether it's denied. And you can see that I have an option here for file appeal. And of course, if it's approved, you'll have all of the details as far as dates. And again, you have that FAQ section at the bottom too with those commonly asked questions. So again, this is available for members to be able to self-serve this information and track those updates in real time. All right. Next, let's take a look at the Find Care tool. So from our home page, down at the bottom here, we're going to, and actually you can do it from any screen because it's in the toolbar, the center option labeled Care with the heart. We'll tap that option, and this will bring us to the Care Center. Our demo site might look a little different from what you see in the app as it is a demo site, but we have a couple of options here. So I can go to the Find Care and Cost option. I can also go directly to virtual care right here. Let's take a look at Find Care and Cost. And then you can go ahead and enter the doctor, specialty, type of care that you're looking for. And you can use additional filters as well. As you can see, there was an option to go directly to our virtual care center, but if you're looking for a provider that offers in-person as well as virtual, you can filter for those options on this page here. You can filter for proximity, and you can also use your geolocation, which is another handy reason of using Sydney over Anthem.com, although certainly we're just happy people are using either or. So. All right, so let's go back to the Find Care Center here. We'll transition onto this tab. Sometimes our demo site gets a little sticky. Anywho, so let's go back to the Find Care tool. And then again, we have that option for virtual care right here. So if I tap on virtual care, I have the ability to connect directly with Live Health Online. It's important to know that with the EAP that you all have in place, that you can also access information and resources within the EAP page, and I'll show you how to get there as well in a little bit. Next, let's take a look at some of the programs and resources that you would have available and where to get to them. So again, I'm going to go over in the toolbar over to Menu, all the way to the right, and then I'm going to go to Access Care, and then look for the apple. That's how I like to tell people to remember it for my health dashboard. As I scroll down, I'm looking for programs. And this will also look a little bit different than what you may see in your own account, as it is our demo site. But when you tap on View All, you'll be able to see your 24/7 nurse line, which is an incredibly handy tool. So you can speak with a nurse at any hour of the day to ask health-related questions or questions related to your health care. Maybe you're wondering, do I need to go to the emergency room, or could I simply speak with a nurse to have my question answered? Maybe I have a sick child in the middle of the night, right? Could be a question about a medication. You can reach a registered nurse at all hours of the day to ask those questions and also potentially save you the hassle of going into the emergency room, urgent care, if it's not necessary. They can also refer you to and connect you to other resources, offer educational materials, direct you to programs. So they are an amazing resource and something to just keep in your back pocket to access anytime you need it. You can also access emotional well-being resources on the program page. You can access Smart Shopper as well as the EAP. And I know those are upcoming topics that will be presented to you all, so I won't go into all of those right now. But so if you go from, let me just back up here. So from your home page, you'll go all the way to the right in the toolbar and tap Menu. And then from the Access Care option, you'll have an additional drop down, and you'll look for what I like to tell people to remember is the apple for My Health Dashboard. And then on that page, you'll scroll all the way down to get to My Programs. You can also complete the My Health Check-in, which is an online health risk assessment for recommendations that will be produced after you complete the assessment based on your results. So it may recommend different programs available, but definitely also a good tool for reflection of those activities and behaviors. And then the next thing I want to show, and actually the last thing, is how to contact support. So from the menu in the lower right-hand corner, if you scroll down, you can tap this option for support to view the different ways in which you can reach out to support to receive help answering questions. But as you can see through the Sydney app, you can chat directly in the app. There's a message center, and there's also an option to contact, of course, by phone. There's also frequently asked questions here as well. And you can also, from the menu as well, you can access your profile settings. If you had any language preferences that you want to switch over, you can also do that from the menu. So that does cover the topics I plan to cover for the demo today. So I will pause, ask if there are any questions, and we can dive into any of those programs in greater depth as well. So thank you all.
Cool. I just loaded it down when you were talking.
Oh, awesome.
So, I mean, I was following you, but near the end, and I actually sent a text to my son to tell him about it, so.
Oh, neat. Good, yeah, and they're always coming out with new enhancements too. Like that, the authorization tracker is a very new one, which we're pretty excited about, and that's something that people do reach out and they want to know the status, the update, or what happened to it, so they can now get to all of those details. So I'm not sure how often you guys get questions on those, or not maybe much at all, but
That's not a question I've heard.
yeah, okay,
But it's going to be good to even,
Yeah.
if someone's in the office, knowing that they're going through the process, to be able to remind them.
yeah.
And see the authorizations there.
And something that we definitely want people to know from kind of the HR side is, people can self-serve in here, and, we want you guys to certainly know that. So if you are getting a lot of questions that, people can get, their own answer to. We were recently at a work site, and folks were not familiar with the app, that they could get their ID cards or whatnot. So HR was constantly, grabbing these things, and they were like, "You can do that in the app? We need to get people in there." Yeah. So.
Definitely, that's one of the ones they've been grabbing.
Yeah, no, it's,
People will call for that.
I just downloaded it, and it was easy, and it's, the problem I was having is when I went into, and it picked up my password from my iPad, so that was easy. So that was easy, so I just got in. And the problem I had.
Oh, yeah. And you're right. When was that question, or maybe it was when you had mentioned it earlier, and because I wanted to mention it when I got to the programs page, and I didn't, and I meant to. But so that's going to be, they can get to it, My Health Dashboard in the program section.
Okay. And then
That was terrible.
We will come back to that with you, I promise.
No, I'm saying I went onto the anthem.com to try to navigate it, and I kept saying in fitness reimbursement.
It does link out to it's a partner group that.
I never got there, and I finally had to come in, and I found out, unfortunately, we had posted the form on our website. So that was, so getting there was a nightmare, and then getting the reimbursement, which never was a nightmare. But you said it's on here in programs?
Should be.
to disconnect this. I think they're probably still, it's probably still recording.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no,